Behold, brick fanatics, and marvel at the might and majesty that is the god of thunder, Thor's mighty war hammer, Mjolnir. Maj-o-nir. Mjol-nir. Mjolnir! Feel the power, become the superhero with 76209 Thor's Hammer! But is it any good? Well, let me calm down and I'll let you know. Thanos' impressive and popular 76191 Infinity Gauntlet proved that there was a market for brick-built replicas of props from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While it was certainly spectacular in design, it was somewhat scaled down in size. LEGO Star Wars, Harry Potter and Ideas have all offered fans the opportunity to build a wealth of sets that are based upon realistic and life-size objects. Well, as real as lightsaber hilts and magic wands can be. But 76209 Thor's Hammer is the first time LEGO Marvel has attempted to recreate a life-size replica of an iconic Marvel prop. As artifacts go, you can't get more mighty than Thor's mythical Mjolnir, so it seems a great place to start. A weapon this legendary needs a LEGO set to match, but with only 979 pieces contained within, will this LEGO model feel big enough to do justice to the God of Thunder's weapon of choice? The build begins by constructing the inner core of the handle. 9 sub-assemblies built from 26 2x2 bricks, 26 2x2 brackets, 20 2x2 plates, 18 4x2 brackets and 20 1x16 Technic bars form a fairly sizable and impressive looking structure. Any fears that this hammer wouldn't measure up are immediately dispelled. Even at the early stage, it starts to take on quite an impressive size. The inner core feels hefty in the hand and starts to develop quite a decent weight. It's actually a really exciting start and builds the anticipation for just how big this thing could actually turn out. The handle is built from an even more impressive 112 reddish brown and 44 light grey 4x1 curved slopes. Normally, a review wouldn't be so focused on the exact number of parts used in a build, but when the count of a particular piece is so high and used to such great effect, it's worth mentioning. The handle looks and feels brilliant, the light grey creating a realistic looking metal band around the authentic looking wood created from the reddish brown parts. A build that repeatedly uses large quantities of the same part over and over and over again on paper sounds like it's quite a dull and repetitive experience, but this is the exact opposite. There's just such a magical feeling about building such a memorable movie prop, and with each stage, the model just continues to grow larger and larger. The hammer itself is a very squared off design, but one that is surprisingly enjoyable to put together. Inside is a frame with studs facing out in every direction. Tiles are built around the exterior, covering the frame with each end sloping inwards to give the hammer its distinctive shape. Brick-built lightsaber hilts and magic wands feel great in the hand, but there's just something much more mighty about the LEGO Mjolnir. It really does make you feel like a superhero, or dare I say it, a bit of a badass. It's heavy to hold, it's sizable, it's impressive, and it's big. But, like the old saying goes, size isn't always everything. While the hammer is built to an impressive scale, it is somewhat lacking in the finer details. The on-screen hammer is adorned with engravings, carvings, and markings that are just completely absent from this set. It just looks a little too basic in the end. This is perhaps partly down to the colour choice. Flat silver or even drum lacquered silver would have been a much more eye-catching and appropriate colour. Just think how stunning a model this would have been if it had the same display appeal and finish as 76191 Infinity Gauntlet. There is a brick-built base to perch the hammer upon, the highlight being the trans light blue elements that recreate fizzing lightning sparkling over the ground. The only downside to this base is there isn't any way to actually connect the hammer. It just feels a little too delicate, with the slightest of knocks sending everything flying, which is actually the exact opposite of how Thor's hammer works in universe. A small dog should not be able to wield the power of Mjolnir, no matter how adorable they are. The model is all rounded out by tiny representations of the Eternal Flame, the Infinity Gauntlet and the Cosmic Cube, which is actually a really neat piece, referencing Thor's appearance in the MCU. An exclusive version of Thor is included with the set. His double-sided face printing is excellent. The torso based upon his Infinity War costume looks good too, but slightly conflicts with the length of Thor's hair. On screen his hair is much shorter. His legs don't have any printing at all, and for an exclusive minifigure and a set priced over £100, it feels like a real missed opportunity to give us the definitive Thor minifigure. As it is, it's good, but it could have been great. Overall, 76209 Thor's Hammer is an excellently executed set that's just lacking some of those finer details that would have elevated the whole model. Marvel fans will no doubt absolutely love watching this iconic, important artifact from the MCU come to life and get a real kick of swinging it around, pretending to be the God of Thunder himself. But that appeal is slightly lost when you remember how much you spent to have the pleasure of doing so. It's just too expensive for what you get. The build is over relatively quickly, and that's never a good sign when a set is priced over the £100 mark. The Thor minifigure is decent, but could have been better, and because of the plain design of the hammer, over time, the set does start to lose the wow factor that hits you when Mjolnir is built for the first time. At full price, it's not quite worthy to be bestowed the power of Thor. However, if you ever see it discounted, I'd recommend picking it up. That is, if you can, of course. And that's it. Please support the work BRICK Fanatics does, like bringing you this review, by purchasing your copy of 76209 Thor's Hammer using our affiliate links. Head over to the website now for all your news, reviews, features and more, and sign up to the newsletter so you never ever miss anything LEGO related ever again. Remember, keep it respectful in the comments, and I'll see you next time.